And the crew member in charge of the guns on Alec Baldwin's movie set says that she has, quote, no idea how live rounds of ammo ended up in that Colt 45 handgun. Lawyers for Hannah Gutierrez-Reed tell NBC News, quote, that safety is number one for Hannah, her number one priority. Ultimately, this set would have never been compromised if live ammo were not introduced. Hannah has no idea where the live rounds came from. Baldwin has called the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins a tragic accident, but the sheriff in Santa Fe, New Mexico, says not so fast. Let's bring in attorney Brian Claypool on this. Brian, thank you for joining us today. I want to start by playing that piece of sound from Adan Mendoza, the sheriff in New Mexico, so you can listen to it for yourself and let me know what you think. Let's play that.
I'd be careful using the word accident. This is obviously a tragedy, and it was avoidable. Right now, it's a criminal investigation.
Just to back up to what you just said, are you saying it's too early to call it an accident?
I wouldn't, as of right now, I wouldn't call it an accident at all. It's a criminal investigation.
Brian, what do you make of that?
Yeah, Martha, nice to see you again. This is absolutely a criminal investigation. And make no mistake about it, that I would be shocked that after this investigation, if there were not criminal charges brought against several people. And your viewers should know this is a unique case, Martha, because you're potentially going to charge somebody who didn't shoot the gun with either criminal negligence or possibly negligent homicide. So that's unprecedented. But let's look briefly at the facts here. I mean, criminal negligence, Martha, in New Mexico, it's defined as you knew or should have known of a danger and you acted with reckless disregard. So irrespective of what the armorer says, the young lady, that she says, oh, I didn't know that there was live ammunition in the gun. Well, she should have known because there were prior reports of guns, of an accidental discharge, guns being shot outside the scene. So she clearly should have known, and she should have checked the gun before it was given then to an assistant producer, a guy named Dave Halls. This guy is potentially going to be implicated as well. He's told investigators, Martha, I handed the gun to Alec Baldwin and I didn't even look in the gun. Minimally, that is criminal negligence and potentially negligent homicide.
So the attorney in this case is going to be joining us exclusively on Monday. I want to show you some pictures that were taken of Alec Baldwin because I thought it was also interesting. He is with his family somewhere in New England, we're told. But I thought it was interesting that when during the news conference the other day, they said, do you know where he is? And they said no, but basically that he was cooperating. Does anything of that seem unusual to you?
No, I don't think that's unusual, Martha, because what he's doing is taking a low profile right now. He's tweeted about how heartbroken he is about Helena and her death. But look, we have to have criminal justice here. I like Alec Baldwin, great actor, a great father. But look, he might be facing some culpability too. Martha, I don't think he'll be charged with negligent homicide, but I think minimally Alec Baldwin might be facing criminal negligence. Dave Halls hands him the gun, right? He's a director. Alec Baldwin's a director on the set. He owes a duty. It's common sense to look at the inside the gun to see if there's live ammunition. So I don't see how he walks away from this as well. And one other point, Martha, your viewers should know, there were alleged complaints about this gentleman, Dave Halls, and then the other young lady who was the armorer on a set of another movie prior to this called One Way. It was filmed in Georgia. And there were some serious allegations made that in that filming that they didn't even clear the freeway before a dangerous scene was done and other complaints. So that's also going to weigh into the investigation. But I can't imagine no criminal charges in this.
There's another woman who has surfaced, Sarah Zachary, who was a prop master, who apparently is the fourth person, according to what we're learning so far, who might have handled the gun. So that chain of custody of the gun and who had it, how many people touched it along the way is obviously going to be very important here. But there were people who were not happy about the way that the safety was being handled on the set. This is actor Ian Hudson, who spoke to TMZ, and he said that he was concerned, but it was one of his first jobs as an actor. He didn't want to speak up. Listen to him.
I held my tongue for a lot of it. But some of the other actors who had worked on a lot more sets than I have as principal characters They were double and triple checking our weapons after the armorer gave them to us, whether they were cold or hot.
So what that makes me think, Brian, is, that also would be a responsibility for Alec Baldwin, right? He's a very experienced actor. Just to take someone's word for it that was a cold gun, wouldn't it be routine for him to also take a look?
Yeah, absolutely, Martha, and that's a great soundbite. I mean, other sets, they're looking at the gun 2 and 3 times. I mean, ignorance is not a defense here. Gee, I didn't know there was live ammunition even on the set is not a defense in this case. No law, no regulation replaces common sense. The young lady should have looked at it, the armorer, she should have checked for live ammunition. Dave Halls, the assistant producer, should have checked for live ammunition, and Alec Baldwin should have checked for live ammunition. So when I hear, Martha, the Santa Fe district attorney saying the other day, oh, well, I think the linchpin of this investigation is who brought the live ammunition onto the set. Well, I beg to differ with her. The focus of this investigation should be on what you just said, is what happened on the chain of custody with the revolver, who was handling it, who said what, and why they failed to look to see whether there's live ammunition. That should be the focus of this investigation.
I've also heard that in a lot of these situations, they have a shield in front of the camera, and the people who are in the line of fire, even with prop guns. So it doesn't appear that happened either, but we're all going to learn a lot more as this unfolds. Brian, thank you. Great to see you today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Martha. Nice seeing you. Thanks.
So